Hello, everyone, and good evening on this Sunday 7 p.m. Recently, we were getting many requests कि 5 बजे मुश्किल हो जाता है सब लोग को join करना. So, on everyone's request, we have planned to keep these meetings 7 p.m. going forward every Sunday. Or so today we have Trupthi with us. But before we hand over to Trupthi, and today Alpna ji will be moderating this session for us. And Alpna ji, welcome to our group and helping us in moderating these sessions. We are looking forward, for today's session. And first of all, I can see there are many people who have, I'm seeing for the first time. So in the benefit of everyone, I would just give a little introduction about the group. CSI group जो है ये 2015 में start हुआ था with the objective of supporting cancer patients and caregivers. It was started by Savan Vishwakarma. Of course, एक Facebook group के रूप में ये start किया गया था. Savan was himself a blood cancer survivor, and with time, Mehul, जो अभी हमारे साथ है, he has joined and he took the group forward. We have Piyush and we have Alpna ji, we have Krishna, and many more who are working in the background to for this group for the benefit of cancer patients. And इस group का जो main objective है वो ये है कि to provide social and psychological emotional support to cancer patients, उनको motivate करना, to raise awareness about cancer diagnosis and educate regarding different lines of treatment. काफी हमारे we all know कि काफी स्टिग्मा है इस बीमारी को लेके, तो उस चीज पे काम करना, उस टैबू पे कि हम इसको कितना लोगों में अवेयरनेस फैलाएं कि इसको एक टैबू या एक स्टिग्मा नहीं समझा जाए. कैंसर एडवोकेसी एंड रिसर्च एंड गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट, इस चीज पे भी काम करना, फंड रेजिंग, and also make people aware based on experience of other cancer patients and caregivers कि there are many so-called alternative treatments or magical treatments जो काफी हम लोग we tend to fall for that and काफी forwards होते हैं, and people have to be aware कि whether those treatments are real or just fake one. And also create a social movement to accept cancer as a disease, empower its early diagnosis, and improve quality of lives in patients. And इसके अलावा एक और हम लोगों ने recently start किया matrimony, so उस project पे भी we are working. So we have series of objectives behind this group. और आज की डेट में इस Facebook group पे काफी close to 4,000 हो गए हैं members. So yeah, now I'll not take more time. And we have Trupthi, we have Alpna. So Alpna, it's I'm handing over to you. Please you can take it forward.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Savita. Thank you so much. Hi, Trupthi, and hello, everyone. This is Alpana. I am myself ovarian cancer survivor, and this is my first time to moderate. So please excuse my any mistakes. So, hi, Trupthi, can you please briefly introduce yourself and tell us about your life before cancer and cancer diagnosis?
Sure. I am from Coorg. So I'm from a very small village in Coorg. I've been born and brought up here. I did my studies here in Coorg. I moved to Bangalore for my graduation. I did my graduation in Christ. So after my graduation and post-graduation in Christ, then I took up a job in Bangalore. I worked with a company called NBS that was actually later taken over by Cisco. So overall, I worked with the same company for around 15 years. Meanwhile, like I said, we are a small family from Coorg. I have we are 3 siblings. I have 2 younger sisters, and my parents stay here. So that's to do with my education and my,
Yeah, yeah.
work.
Background, right.
Yeah.
So, how did you came to know about your
Yeah,
breast?
actually, I worked this place for quite some time, and during that period, I got married and I had my son. He was born in 2012. So after 3 years, I had my daughter. So once my daughter was born, since my parents, there were nobody here to take care of my parents or be with them, since we are all daughters, and there were no, sons who would be here to be with parents. So I quit my job and I moved back to my hometown to to continue staying with my parents. Then in a month, actually, I was feeding my baby, Then in January of 2016, not 2016, January of 2017, I kind of realized that I started feeling a lump on my right breast. So, first, initially, because I just stopped feeding that time. So it took me some time to realize this is not because of stopping feeding, because generally there is a condition that happens, So after that, a month or so, then I started, checking regularly, seeing if it is there, and if it's still, uh, I still feel the lump. So it was kind of not going at all. So I visited quite a few doctors at that period of time. I definitely didn't, think of going to an onco. But I went to my gynac, not one, I went to three gynacs, and then I went to get my scanning done. Where unfortunately, what happened is they were not able to diagnose at that point of time. So basically, it was a wrong diagnosis till almost 9 months. So what happened in during the same time, whenever I visited these doctors, everybody thought it was fibroadenoma, and they gave me the same kind of medication. So obviously, you go to 1, 2, and everybody is giving. You'll have a second opinion, and everybody has given you the same medication. I took all of them gave it for 3 months, so I continued taking it. So in the month of November, actually, I went, since I stay here, we wanted to watch a movie, myself and my husband, we wanted to watch a movie. So we don't have theaters here. So we decided we'll go to Mysore. So we reached Mysore pretty early. The show was at 10, and we were there at 8:30. So we didn't know what to do, how to while away time for another 1.5 hours. So there was a scanning center there, just close by to the place we had gone. So I was like, we'll just go there and get another scan done. So we went, obviously without prescription, or without any doctor's this thing, or no knowledge also. So I just went, and then they were like, no, which doctor, and what do you want, and all that stuff. I said, no, I just want to meet whoever is going to doing the scanning here, and I want to get a scan on my breast done, because I think I feel something, and I just want to be sure. So when I went to the scanning center, and the doctor there scanning, and while he was doing that, the look on his face only kind of gave me a very bad feeling, because he was kind of shocked with what was there. So I was like, he asked me again my same background, saying, when did you go? When was the last time you got it checked and all that stuff? So he says, this doesn't look good. I would suggest, his brother does FNAC there. So he said, it's better you go watch the movie, come back in the afternoon. I'll talk to my brother and then we'll see what we have to do next. So obviously, after seeing their expression, it was really difficult. But then again, we didn't know what else to do. So we went for the movie, came back, and I met up with his brother, and he said, we'll have to get I'll do an FNAC. We will see what. So they did, and he was like, this doesn't look good. Uh, it took 3 hours for me to get the reports also. So by 6 o'clock, they gave me the report. They said this is not good. It is malignant. They were not able to determine anything at that point of time. So I was like, completely shocked, as I had no idea. I could not think of anybody who had, maybe had a similar experience, or even to ask for suggestion or whatever. So I said, "Okay, what else to do?" Then I came back home. We came back home. During that time, I thought I'll go and visit my family doctor. So that day, 3 days, there was a doctor's strike. I didn't realize till then. From the next day, as in after this, uh, I came back at around 8:39. I reached home. So obviously, that point of time, I could not do much. So next day onwards, for 3 days, there was a strike of doctors. They were not seeing any patients, and because of that strike, my family doctors had gone out of station. They were not there.
Okay.
So it took time. The condition in our house was beyond. I could not say that, because my parents, my mother, my father, all of them were like shattered. So I, started thinking of whom to go and see, so that I get some idea as to what I'm supposed to do next, because I didn't even know which onco, whom do I have. The place, like I said, we don't even have a proper scanning center here. So anything I have, the nearest is I either have to go to Mysore, or this or Bangalore or Mangalore. That's quite a distance. So then I happened to find one lady here who actually had been through the similar thing. So I went there, and she referred me to a hospital in Mysore, because I didn't want to go to Bangalore. She had got her yeah, treatment done in Bangalore, but I was not willing to go there, because my daughter at that point of time was just going to be 2, and I didn't want to travel much, leaving them here. So Mysore, at least I can go and come. It was not that difficult. So then I happened to meet up with a doctor in Mysore. I went there, and I met up with him, and immediately he said, you have to get a biopsy done. So, they did a biopsy. All through the time, I just, all of us for that matter, just kept praying, saying, I hope it's not that. I hope it's not that. You have your report, and you still want to feel, or somewhere you have hope that it may not be that. They say it's something else, and end of it, he did the biopsy, and it was confirmed. So it was confirmed that it was, they were
Right.
not able to determine they were not able to determine the stage at that point of time. But yeah, he said it was malignant.
Okay. So moving forward, what kind of treatment do you go through? And
He actually, the doctor gave me 2 options. He actually suggested that I go for a lumpectomy, do a chemo, get the lump removed, and then again continue with the chemo. So, but I was not very happy doing that. So I didn't want to get a lumpectomy done and then again have that stress of, it's not like you are stress free anytime once you have this, but still I thought it was a better option to go for a mastectomy. So I got a mastectomy done. After that, they sent it for further, checkup, and it, in fact, though they were not able to initially diagnose the whole lump was 8 centimeters.
Oh,
Nobody would believe because it was so huge. You hear people saying it is this many and that This mine was four. I mean, the whole thing was 8 centimeters.
it was
That big.
quite
So
bigger.
yeah, and actually the doctor was not keen on doing mastectomy also because of the kind of background and the social circle you're in. You'll not be able to go outside, or you won't be comfortable and things like that. But then I didn't want to. For me, taking chances, the least. I mean, I don't know if it is right, wrong. You never know what's right or wrong here. You won't be able to determine what gives you the, you have, if you're strong enough to do whatever. So I thought, it's better I do it. Then he did the surgery. My course of, that was another thing that I went through during my treatment. What happened is, this place I went to, the hospital was a very small hospital, but the surgeon was amazing. I mean, he did an amazing job with my surgery, the way he had done it. After the surgery, we realized it had spread to one node. So while removing, he had removed 16 nodes. Thankfully, I didn't have to go through radiation. But by the time all my reports came in, they said it was second B, stage 2B.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest disadvantage I had in this place was I didn't know. There was nobody to even guide me at that point of time. That in this place they don't have this system of putting a port and giving chemo through that. So my surgery was done. After that, when I went for the chemo, initially it was obviously IV, right? So they started pricking. So the first time they did it, the second time they did it. From the third time onwards, what happened? They were not able to find my veins at all.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, so that was terrible because each time I had to go for my chemo sessions, they would prick me at least 8 times to get one vein which is willing to take in the chemo. So I don't, I didn't know. Probably if I'd known, I would have moved to another hospital, or I don't know what I would have done at that point of time. But here I was, since the treatment had already started and I had hardly any time left, so I continued with that. So that was one very big disadvantage I had, because at one point of time my veins were completely burned, and it's still not gone actually. Anybody sees, you will see a bumps on my hands still, because the chemo effect is, the burning is so bad. And because I had my mastectomy on my right side, they could not give it to me on the right.
Mm-hmm.
They had to do, every time they had to do on my left, or they'll find my fingers and toes and legs and all that stuff. So it was bad. But basically, I had like 8 rounds of chemo. Then I had to take 16 rounds of Taxol. That was what my medication course was.
Okay.
I was suggested to take what is tamoxifen for 5 years, which I completed this time June. So that was one more thing along with that, which was part of my course.
Mm-hmm. So it was really very challenging for you.
It definitely was, because my surgery was done on the 15th of November, and my daughter's birthday was on 17th.
Okay.
So all through my surgery, my treatment, my mother never came to visit me also, because she was here with the kids. So after my surgery, just for her birthday, they had got her to Mysore. I was staying in some place there. So they had got to Mysore. It's more difficult when you have young ones, or I mean, it's difficult in every way. You
Right.
see your parents, it's difficult. You see your husband, it's difficult. You see your kids, it's
Really,
beyond.
really
So,
difficult.
yeah.
So,
So, you start at one point of time, you start feeling like, what is going on in life. It's like that. So, yeah, when they came there and her birthday celebration was, you always have good memories when your kid is for 1 or 2 years, and I just could not control my emotion. I was so all over the place. It was, I mean, it was bad. That smile on the kid's face, and that not understanding what is going on, and still we were like trying to make sure her birthday is, cutting cake and all that stuff. The small things that you do just to keep yourself going. That's how it was. So it took time, but yeah, it was definitely not easy. Because every stage, every time there's a report that you're expecting, I'm like, praying to God, thinking, God, let this not be positive, let that not be positive, let there be some kind of, if they're able to reduce the number of cycles, or if they're reduce okay to reduce the number of other medications that needs to be given and stuff like that. And like I said, the biggest challenge here is because we don't have a multi-speciality hospital here.
mm-hmm.
I would go to Mysore. They will do my blood test before doing the starting chemo, because they have to check my blood count. So they will prick. For that, they'll prick 5 times, because again they're not able to get my blood properly. After that, they would say that, sorry, your what is that? Your WBC is low. So we will not be able to give you chemo today. You will have to come again. So there's no point staying there. You go again after a week. So my cycle was not once in 3 weeks is what they give generally. So what they did is they would give me 2 continuous Mondays, and then I had a break for a week. It was like that. So every time I would go, my treatment would get delayed just because my WBC is less. Again, go, come back. That stress was extreme.
Right. I can understand that.
When you go, when you are already stressed and you go, obviously there is going to not be good results, I guess. So that's this. I mean, sometimes I feel if you have better, I mean, if I had known, this is something that not people will go around talking, right? So, like if there are groups like this, or people talk about it openly, or somebody is there to tell you what, or guide you at the right place or right way, or say these are the things you need to ask the doctor, then we will have some kind of awareness. This is, you're going and experimenting on yourself because you don't know
Right.
what
So,
any.
like, this is the main purpose of the group, to educate people mainly,
Yeah,
and to support them.
exactly.
Right. So, how, like, who inspired you to go forward? नहीं, मुझे तो करना ही है, अब आगे करना ही है. This kind
I
of
don't
thing comes when you
Yeah.
kids.
I was it is not somebody inspiring me. I think it was the condition of my parents that at that point of time is something that told me, because obviously I can control anything, but I'm a little away from pain. I would rather avoid I have my younger sisters, like I said, all of them have like 10 earrings and tattoos and all that stuff. I am the one who's like, this is my parents had done it when I was young. If not, I wouldn't go for this one also. I'm like that. Stay away from pain as much as you can, physical pain, I mean. So I try to avoid. So that pain of getting that chemo and that fear of going and getting yourself pricked again and again, that kind of put so much pressure on me. And at one point of time, after I think 2 or 3 cycles, I just saw my parents' condition deteriorated like anything. So my father is like, a very strong pillar of the house. So when you see a person like that kind of become weak, and he could not stand in front of people for like 2 seconds without crying. So that point of time, I thought, if I don't take this under my control, I think it's going to ruin not my life, it's going to ruin everybody's life. And God forbid something happens to them because of this, then I will never be able to come to terms with why and what happened and stuff like that. So I just I think I changed overnight. It was like, I just decided that I will come what may, obviously you cannot avoid pain and your negative effects of that, or the symptoms you have after you're taking the chemo and all this stuff. But I was so affected with their condition. I
Right.
said, I am not going to let this ruin their lives. So I think that's the only reason that it was a complete transformation for me overnight. For me, I felt like there was a change and some kind of thing. I said, come what may. After when I've seen people now, when when the hair starts falling, they get so affected with how you're going to face the society, how you're going to. Like I said, I stay in a very small place. So what I did, I just before my hair started falling off, I told my husband, I don't want it to fall off by itself. At least I'm going to take that under my control and I'm going to do it myself. So before my hair started falling off, I told him, remove shave it. So he shaved it even before as soon as my first cycle was done, before the second cycle, I got my hair removed myself. I thought, at least what you can do yourself, take it under control. Then after taking it, obviously I had very long and beautiful hair. So that was terrifying to look at myself for a few days. But I think you kind of get used to it. But it's just that how you see yourself. So I came outside, my mother started weeping so badly. I said, it's okay, it's going to come back. It's not like
Yeah,
it's
it's not
not going to
permanent.
be
Right.
yeah, it's not going to happen forever. And I'm glad that I'm doing it myself. It's not like I heard, I've heard stories of how bunches will come and you will sleep and everything will be on you. But I said I'm not going to give chance for all that. I'm going to do it my way. And then I was so, I mean, I don't know. I just went like uh, I went everywhere without covering myself or putting a cap or shawl or scarf or whatever. I have visited n number of temples during that time. Anything that will give you some kind of hope or help or to let you stay strong. I have done everything possible at that point of time, and I didn't sit at home because of that. I went outside. I took my kids outside. It was just those days when you have those, I had that effect kicking in after 3 days. The first day I would be super energetic. Third day I would feel. So I knew which are the days I need to be on the bed or be at home. So I planned my week like that. But everywhere I went with however I was. I didn't want to cover myself. I didn't want to say. And here you have, people want to.
Trupthi, are you there? You're not audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
I think it was muted. So that's how it was.
Yeah. So this is the best thing you told today. You should take control of your enemy, or anything you can't control. You should take control of enemy.
Absolutely. I think that's the only way you feel in control. Otherwise, you're going to give up at some point of time. There were like, since I stay in a very small place and my parents are quite well known around here, we had one or two people initially come who had experienced this earlier, who came and who said, it's better you don't tell anybody what is going on. So, people, they will talk this, they will talk that. And so I told my mom, in fact, I told both my parents, you're going to, anybody asks, you're going to tell the truth, because you're going to say one lie to cover that lie up. You're going to tell 10 more lies. And I don't want any of us saying anything. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, afraid of. And, it's not something like you've done intentionally wrong or something that you don't. And I think when you tell people is when you get suggestions, ideas. You need not take everything. You know what is right for you. You should be able to decide what is right for you, what is wrong for you. So I had like hundreds of people to, you know, come to see me because I was unwell. Now there'll be like people who come and say, we are not well. Why do you want? Actually, it was, for me, it was a blessing, I would say, because at least two people come. You get to cry, and you let go of that, because otherwise you're going to keep it inside you, and that's going to add up to whatever stress you already are in. So when you talk to people, you get ideas, you get some suggestions, you get something. You should be, wise enough to take in what is right for you, what is wrong for you. Take the good ones, leave the bad ones. And
Yeah,
for
very
me,
true.
I think everything I looked at in a positive perspective. As in, I know, I walked in a town, and like I said, we're so well known around here. People would come to me, it's like, why don't you cover? I can't see you like this. Why don't you cover your head? I'm like, no, I'm comfortable like this. If somebody has a problem, it's their problem. I didn't say that, but my point of view is, I am going to do what is comfortable for me. I'm not going to cover up myself and feel restricted and feel, because I've been so social all my life that this, I dress up like that. I'm fashionable enough if I'm doing that, and then trying to hide myself in something, just if I have to go get some things from town and come and hiding away from people and doing that, that's going to add more stress to me and, make me feel all the more miserable. So
Right.
there was my uncle's wedding, just immediately after my chemo ended. My uncle's daughter got married. So we have this tradition where, our ritual where we dance at one point of time during the wedding. So I, like, literally danced for like 4 hours continuously. And people during the wedding, they coming and telling me, do you really need to do all this? I know their intention is not wrong. They feel, they have that fear that maybe something will happen to her. But then I was just I had only one thought in mind: what if this is the last wedding I'm going to attend? Because dancing is so much in my blood. So I'm like, at least I know that I am going to enjoy my this day.
Right.
What happens tomorrow, we will see.
Mhm.
I think it all depends on how you see it.
Right, right. Your attitude towards the situation.
Yeah, and I don't think when people say something also, not necessarily they always mean bad and say, you know. Oh, I had, I actually got married out of my community. I am out of my religion. I am a Hindu and my husband is a Muslim. So when there was somebody who told, in fact, my parents that, see, this is a punishment she got for getting married to a Muslim also. That kind of comments also I've heard, because it's a small town. You
Mm.
have all kinds of people, but then whoever said whatever, I actually don't, and maybe you come to a stage where you actually don't care, because end of it, you're going to do what you have to do.
Right, right.
Say something, you're not going to change yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think anybody for that matter should change to please somebody else, because you're never going to be happy.
Right, right. Yeah, it's really, really inspiring. And I'd like to ask one more question. What kind of changes did you find after cancer journey, or after your treatment? How your life changed before cancer and after cancer?
I don't see how.
How or what kind of changes you feel?
Yeah, every change I've had is, I think, because I've wanted that change. Like, I feel everything happens. There is a reason for everything to happen. Also, I moved back to Coorg, like I said, to stay with my parents. I always wonder, what would have happened if I had continued to work and I was diagnosed with this, and I had my two kids, and my parents were here. They can't come to Bangalore, come back, come to Bangalore, come back, because we have estates here. So my father has to stay back to be with my mother, has to be with him. He won't be able to do everything himself. So if I see I quit my job and came here, that is a blessing. But it takes time for you to realize that's a blessing. It takes a year, 2 years. Now, my hair, I have a lot of people coming and telling me, you had such beautiful hair. Why don't you? This is the longest I've grown, actually. Otherwise, I kept it even shorter than this till now. So, my point is, now, my mother's side, no, everybody has no hair at all. Basically, all bald at one point of time, there's no hair. So I'm like wondering if I should grow and go through that stage, or let it be like this. So, everything that has happened has its own reasons, I think. And whatever I have changed in itself, I'll only thing which I have right now is, I know that something happens, you see some change in your health, and it kind of, the first thought comes is that is the biggest change. I would not have worried about it earlier, or I wouldn't have thought about it earlier. I would have ignored it probably. But now, if there is something, it kind of, I don't know, I am still haven't been able to get out of that, where you completely forget, or I don't even know if that stage is going to ever come in my life where I can absolutely forget that this has happened to me and ignore something. Like, I have a boil, I have something on my head or something, I feel something, a lump or something, then the first thought that comes is this. So should I go for a checkup, should I have an eye and stuff like that. That is a major change I have experienced.
Right, right, right. So, anyone else would like to ask anything to Trupti? Please welcome. Please. Mehul Bhaiya? Yes.
Anybody wants to ask in Hindi also, I do understand.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions?
I would like
Anything?
to I would like to ask questions to Trupthi. Well, thank you, Trupthi, for that for description of the fight that you went through, and very inspiring. And I totally agree with you because I've been through this. I'm a stage 4 survivor, and I'll be 10 years in January. So it's not easy. I could feel everything that you were telling, and I could relate it to myself as well. Um, so one question I wanted to ask you is that you told that you didn't want to go through all this, and at a point you thought that you made a mistake and you should not have done that. But don't you feel now that it was good that you went through all that pain and that treatment, that you are now out of it, and or else um, you would not be in this place at that point of time. I know it's cancer treatment is tough. It's getting better. It's getting easier by the day because new medicines coming in, new techniques coming in. But I would think that you should not take it that way. That you should not have done that. But yeah, and one
I didn't mean with regard to taking medications. I don't know where I mentioned that. I definitely don't suggest also, because we have people, survivors here who have gone through treatments, like 20, 30 years back. The treatment procedure and how it is done and how painful it was earlier and how it is now is completely different. So there, what I feel is awareness is important, because like I said, the only thing I regret is, like I said, I going to getting my chemo without a port being there, because I didn't have knowledge about that. If I had had the knowledge, then I would have gone to a place where they would have put port and then given me. So
exactly.
that, yeah, it's not about the treatment as such, because that will be foolishness. I mean, if I'm suggesting something like that, or if anybody for that matter, if you don't take the proper treatment, then you cannot expect yourself to, you know, try and fight it also. You never know. Even with um, long period of treatments, people have had a recurrence and stuff like that. So you might as well stick to what the doctor is asking you to do. It's just that, like I said, I wouldn't have had to burn my entire one side of mine just because I didn't know. So it's definitely not about the treatment.
Agree. I thought I might have misunderstood that. Okay, good with that. And second, one more thing that I know that you are the face of the fight, but the strength is behind you. Your caregivers, your husband, your family. So salute to them as well. And we would like to have him if he's there around, and we would like to also talk to him and get his views on this and how, because there are many caregivers as well listening to you and who will be listening further.
Yeah.
So that's another
Just
thing.
a second, let me just call him.
Okay.
Just give me a moment, please.
No problem. Yeah.
So while she's coming, I also want to mention that it has been really, really very inspiring to listen to her. और कुछ चीजें हमें अपने ट्रीटमेंट की भी याद आने लगती है ना कि this it happened with us, and also the need of having a group like this, कि हम लोगों को काफी चीजें एक दूसरे से पता चल जाती है. Like for example, if today somebody come, Trupthi will tell कि अरे पोर्ट लगवा लो, वो ज्यादा बेटर रहेगा. So all this information, yeah, Trupthi is back.
Meet my husband,
Hi.
Muta Harkan.
Hi. Hi, nice to meet you, and we are all thankful to you to support Trupthi and help her all the time. And I understand that you are the basic force. That is, a caregiver is more important in the fight. He's behind the scenes. He's not like Trupthi had to go through the pain, but the mental pain and all these things the caregiver carries on their shoulders. So salute to you and thank you so much again.
Thank you for, but all that I can say was it's my duty. I was looking at it as my duty and responsibility, and I would just like to add, it was a tough journey, but I mean, more than me, I would say my wife's strength, because even at points I would lose out on my my willpower or my capacity, but her spirit, and I think it's the patient strength first that counts the most, because then for us to follow it's very easy, because you look at the person who's going through it and their strength. I would really say all credit to her, that but it's a hell of an experience. I'm with all the people who are with a cancer patient who go through this journey. I really admire their strength and their willingness to go through all the the turmoil and the impatience, and you really don't know what's running in the body. So it's a crazy journey, all that I can say. My wishes and my my sympathy with all the people. I would say I really don't know how to put it across, but I would love all the people to stay strong, and I would, to the patients, don't give up. It's an easy journey today with everything available. It's a very easy journey. Just don't lose your your hope and your strength. Just look at it in positivity, that it's happened for a reason, and I'm going to get out of it at any cost. And that's what she did. And for me, it was more of a learning than the experience of being a caregiver. A very, very, very strong lady. I can just say that, very strong.
Yeah, agree. Ladies are stronger than men. No doubt. And I also want, if people in the chat and in the meeting, if they have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions to them.
Sure.
I have one idea, like I mean, going forward, we can call caregiver also together, for the session like this. I mean, as soon as Trupthi's husband come, it's so lightning and happening. Thank you, and thank you to Trupthi and Trupthi's husband. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. But but I mean, she just mentioned in her session that Hindu married to Muslim. I mean, you both are made for each other. You look so good together. God bless you. And आप लोग एक दूसरे के लिए बने हैं, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है. आपको देख के ही पता चल रहा है.
Thank you so much.
I hope I didn't bore you guys with my talk, but
yeah. See, with us, it is emotional journey, because we all have this thing, like we have been through this, but having this other perspective of a caregiver, when we get into that, पता तो रहता है, because हमारे आसपास भी caregiver रहे होते हैं, we know that, लेकिन उनका perspective सुन के उनका कितना support रहता है. This is so important. I mean, people who are caregiver, they would understand कि it's उनके लिए भी कितना जरूरी है अपने पेशेंट के साथ में रहना. मतलब they have to also put a mask कि we would stay strong, and there are a lot of things internally disturbing, but sessions like this and talking on these platforms definitely motivate other people. I think every patient look for it कि कहाँ से वो एक hope मिले, कहाँ से हम लोग कैसे deal करें इस चीज से. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Trupthi.
Yushji, how are you? Hi.
I'm fine. In fact, in fact, when we are talking about who should be the next speaker, I was talking with Savita, and just one thing came in my mind, that I used to see your dance with your kids videos. So I thought you are the good candidate to inspire to the group, to the fighters or the caregivers. So, but today, I was just thinking that you are a good dancer. But apart from that, you are really a great warrior. You are, and totally, I found very new things in you. so many new things in you, and you are a true inspirer, and you are doing a great. And one more participant in the group today we have. If you don't mind, Megha, I would like to say something about you. Megha is there in our today's meeting, and she is having a lump in her breast, and she has went for the biopsy. She is awaiting for the biopsy report, and
I'm waiting for my
she
result.
yes, she is in touch with me for last 2 days, and she is asking so many questions. So I asked her to join today's sessions, and see, Megha, you can see the Trupthi's whole journey. This is just enough for you, and we hope that your biopsy report will be benign. There will be no cancer. We all will pray for that. It will not be a cancer. But even anything is unfortunate with you, we all are here with you, and you can see the journey of Trupthi. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Everyone is here to support you. Thank you. Thank you, Trupthi, again.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
If you have any question, Megha, to ask, we all are here. You can ask.
Yeah, even if you want to reach me more, you have something specific to ask also, feel free. You can collect my number from Piyush ji. He has my number. So, if you want to talk something, definitely there, it's not, necessary that it has to be regarding some only the treatment, because sometimes you talk to somebody, you feel lighter, you get, you have more clearer ideas. So definitely feel free if you want to give a call.
I would like to add one thing. Trupthi used to do the same thing, See, most of them, try to hide out. One thing I want to just add. A lot of people try to hide what they're going through in this journey. And that tends to, isolate you mentally. And I suggest to all the people going through it, I'm not sure how many people are there, but, always share everything. Because, someone would have tried something and someone would have, gone through it in a different way. And it will give you a chance and opportunity to, work out in a different angle, because each body is different and not necessarily that to what is running just through our scientific approach from the doctors. So you will get some ideas. But one thing about her is she would, any cancer patient that we would come across, she would share her detail where we would make out, people feel very out of place, or, feel hesitant to ask what they are going through. But it really helps you, because, when someone else is going through a similar procedure or a process, it kind of gives you an inspiration. At the same time, I feel, I feel the body is such a tool that you can really work around miracles with it. It's what I have always followed through my life. It's not about a disease or something that an ailment that comes into your body, but mind is a very strong tool. And I think, I would just put a point across to everybody that, be positive. Just say one thing to yourself. And that's what I would see about her, even now that she does. Her 5 years journey finished just some time back. But every time, I would see her only one thing. She would just kick it and get up. She would be like, I'm going to walk through it. She used to be so motivated and, and positive. It's come out. What next? What next? What next? And even if I would have, I'll be very frank. When I was going through it, a lot of times, I would run through negativity in my head. But when I would see her energy and, when I would see her mindset of, nothing's going to happen, I will not do it, and it's not going to. That was something that I really, learned out of her. She would say, she's just going to walk through everything like a breeze, and she did it. So, I think stay strong, stay positive. A good approach to it is, we'll just look at आज का आज देखते हैं, कल की मेरे को फिक्र नहीं, we'll just go through tomorrow. What comes tomorrow, I'll just barge into it, and that will take you. That's the only thing that will take you guys through.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I'll take your number, ma'am, from Piyush, sir, for sure.
Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
The best.
All the best.
And thank you, Piyush, sir, for arranging this meeting.
No, I am not sir. I am just Bhaiya. You can tell me Bhaiya. No, sir.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
Hi, Trupthi.
For Trupthi?
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Trupthi, सॉरी मैं आज ना बाहर थी, मेरा एक्चुअली मैं आपका सेशन लेने वाली थी, बट मैंने ये
हाँ.
चीज मिस कर दी। बहुत ही अमेजिंग था आपका ये, मतलब अभी ना थोड़ा सा यहाँ से आवाज आ रहा होगा, मैं बाहर हूँ, बट मेरी बहुत इच्छा थी कि मैं जरूर कुछ बोलूं। एक तो आपकी स्टोरी इतनी ज्यादा इंस्पायरिंग है कि इसको जरूर टैग करूंगी और बोलूंगी, मतलब मैं कि सभी लोग एक बार देखें, और स्पेशली आपके हस्बैंड का एज अ केयर गिवर अगर हम देखते हैं इस बात को, तो जिस स्टोरी को हम सुन रहे हैं, जिस चीज से हम मतलब ग्रुप में हम जो मोटिवेट करना चाहते हैं, तो स्पेशली एक स्पाउस अगर बैठते हैं साथ में, और वो अगर आपको आपके स्पिरिट को सलाम कर रहे हैं, तो वो चीज और बड़ी चीज हो गई कि जो चीज हम चाहते हैं कि अगर एज अ हस्बैंड एज अ वाइफ अगर साथ में बैठ के वो स्पिरिट दिखाएं, तो मुझे लगता है काफी ये ग्रुप में लोगों को बहुत अवेयरनेस मिलेगी, बहुत ही मोटिवेशन मिलेगा, जो आप दोनों को देखकर लग रहा है। गॉड ब्लेस यू बोथ,
Thank
और
you.
ब्लेस्ड, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे सुन के।
रियली नेहा, सच बोला नेहा ने। एकदम इन दोनों को देख के ऐसा लग रहा है कि लाइक बहुत सारी इंस्पिरेशन मिली है हम लोग को भी, स्टिल वी आर ऑल इन द सेम बोट.
I'm sure there are a lot of people in the group who've gone through who may not be able to express themselves well also. लेकिन बहुत लोग होंगे जो I'm sure caregivers को extra credit मिलना चाहिए, जो
Yeah,
survivor है या
definitely.
warrior है, because वो लोग भी इतना they go through more stress than the other person actually. Because उन
Right.
लोगों को हर चीज संभालना पड़ता है, including the patient. So hats off to all the caregivers.
Yes, really, really. Really. हाँ, मैं हूँ.
You will, and I wish that you both stay in the group and help and guide other people who are coming through this. And it makes a lot of difference if they hear, as your husband said, that it makes a difference that you hear something that someone has gone through already, and you're following the path. So you would like to trust that person more than anyone else. Like if someone, if like I forgot the name. If Megha sees you, like, okay, if she can do that, I can do that too.
Exactly.
What a big deal. So yeah, please stay with us, and I'm sure that you will be a light to many people who are going through the dark journey for now. But there's always a day after night. So that was amazing. Amazing to have you
I
guys.
would like to put across one point.
Yeah.
This April was supposed to be my last checkup. So, but unfortunately, what has happened is they found a new lump kind of a thing in my other breast now. So I'm requesting everybody to, pray for me. They've asked me to go for another checkup in 6 months' time. So I should be going in a month or two to have another check to see how it's, what it is exactly. But please do pray for me that it's not that.
You will be fine.
Yes, so that's the reason I'm requesting, because I will pray for everybody there, and you never know whose prayers get answered. So please, I think it's our duty to make sure that we pray for everyone. I do anybody who's going through that. I definitely pray for their positive results. So I request from all of you as well to just keep me in your prayers.
You will be in our prayer. You will be in our prayers. Don't worry.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much, sir.
yeah. So see, power of attraction is real. I've experienced it.
Exactly.
So you keep. I saw from what you were talking, like you kept thinking of good things, and that happens. At least you reach not 100%, but like 80% of that place. What do you keep thinking? So just keep thinking. Nothing is going to happen. All is well. All is well. All is well. Bas. Utna hi socho. Don't think more. Don't overthink, and you will be fine. And we also have many good doctors in this group, although they are not very vocal in the conversations there because they would not want to give any opinions without seeing the
Exactly.
person. But if you feel that you want to talk to a doctor or different or take a second opinion, do let Piyush Bhai or anyone of us know. We can also get you connected, and we have good doctors who can give good suggestions to you. So don't hesitate.
Sure.
Even if you think that you're far away and that you have limitations there, we can do something about it. So don't worry.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely reach out if required.
So I think it was really very, very inspiring story, and thank you so much for sharing with other people will get benefited from your story.
Thank
And
you.
definitely you found one who is getting benefit. She'll contact you. So mm, like we mostly share, we provide a certificate for sharing your story. So I'm going to show it on the screen, and then we'll share it to you personally also. So
Thank you
just
so
I'm
much.
sharing my screen. Mehul ji, my sharing is disabled. So can you please
Oh, yeah.
allow me to share my
Yeah,
screen?
one moment. Okay, I'm making you the host. And Trupthi, feel free to share this on your social media or wherever you want, okay?
So I'll do that.
We wanted to give you a big trophy, but that is all limited now.
Yeah,
So that is a big trophy. Thank you so much.
yeah, I'm minimizing it.
Thank you.
It's for you. And
Thank you, all of you. It was really a pleasure.
Before we close, Trupthi, you look so beautiful.
yeah,
Thank you. I took
now
little effort.
I'll go to your profile and watch your dance.
Yeah, please go.
That will be my next task.
No,
Thank you so
on
much.
behalf of her, I would say anytime. She makes, she's ready to dance anytime.
I was born, I think when I was born, I came dancing, so
If
I'm always dancing. Sitting,
in
standing,
case,
dancing.
Trupthi, in case you are visiting Bangalore, do meet me. I'm here.
Sure, definitely. I actually my husband's parents stay there, so I keep coming to Bangalore. Which area do you stay?
CV Ramanagar. So whenever you are coming, just do let
Definitely.
me know. Yeah,
Sure,
would love to meet you in person.
sure. Same here.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Thank you so much,
can we
everyone.
close the Can we close the session? So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Trupti. Thank you, and Trupti and her husband for joining and sharing their stories. And thank you everyone for listening patiently.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for letting me be a part of this. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. And you will always be in our prayers. So don't worry, everything will be okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.